Welcome to the 29th week of this year's In Times Like These recap. Now let's get into this, starting with Alan Russo, who asks his lover, Dr. Terry Murphy, why she endorsed his uncle's wife, Heidi, as district attorney after exposing Heidi's affair with Terry's ex-husband, Commissioner Finnegan Burke. He goes on to ask Terry if anyone in his family threatened her. Even though she denies it, Alan goes on to question if his father was the one who threatened her. Not wanting Alan to figure out that she helped end his great-grandfather Dante's life, she asks Alan to leave her office. Max Russo runs into Vanessa Dorval at the mall, apologizing for keeping her in the dark that her stalker appeared before him with a knife. Vanessa forgives her friend, asking Max if he still believes that Kiev is her stalker. When Max asks Vanessa if she's beginning to believe that it's a possibility, she reveals that she told Yulisa about it, unsure of what to think about Kiev. Kiwi sees the two friends, angered that Vanessa is in Max's arms and not his. Johnny and Heidi Russo arrive at the Russo estate, as Johnny tells his wife how guilty he feels for his former mistress, Quinlan Franklin, being thrown under the bus. Heidi feels no sympathy for Quinlan, still feeling like she had something to do with her being exposed, reminding Gianni that they had to stand as a united front in order to help her keep her position. To their surprise, Quinlan arrives at the estate, questioning why she wasn't given a heads up. Heidi tells Quinlan that she is owed no explanation, blaming her for the scandal the Russo family faced and had to clean up. Quinlan goes on to confess that she told Pacho about Heidi and Finnegan's affair, hoping that he wouldn't say anything. Upon hearing this, Gianni and Heidi express how upset they are with her, asking the reporter to leave the estate. At Theodosius Palace, Udell Mitchell discusses Gianni and Heidi's infidelity with his wife Wanda, causing her to flash back to kissing Owen Grant on Independence Day. She tells Udell how she doesn't want to think about the Russos. Suddenly, Owen appears, making Udell upset and Wanda uncomfortable. Udell receives a phone call, then walks off to answer it, asking Owen to be gone when he gets back. As soon as Udell leaves, Wanda asks Owen what's wrong with him. Owen tells Wanda that he doesn't want to see her spoiling her husband out of guilt. She claims that she's only spoiling her husband out of love. Owen asks Wanda if she wants to be spoiled, and not fear that she won't measure up to a long-lost love, telling her that he could provide that for her if she's honest with herself. Wanda tells Owen that she plans to have dinner with her husband, then Owen grants her wish. Keith Burke arrives at the Dorval estate, informing his friend JJ Dorval that he plans to hook up with Yvette Mitchell during her house party. Since JJ is a born-again Christian, he doesn't support his friend's decision, especially since Yvette has been known to hook up with other guys. Keith feels like it sounds as if Yvette owes him. Uncomfortable with his friend's comment, JJ tells Keith that Yvette doesn't owe Keith his body, especially when Yvette isn't Keith's wife. After finishing their work at Theodosius Palace, Nachelle Torres asks her boyfriend Zeke Franklin if he's cheating on her again with Yvette. Zeke is adamant that he's been faithful to Nachelle, wondering why she's questioning him like this. Nachelle fills him in on Yvette dating Kiev, expressing how she feels like it's only a front to cover up the fact that she's sleeping with Zeke. Zeke is adamant that Yvette isn't being intimate with him. This causes Nachelle to question why he wanted to hook up with Yvette multiple times, but only wants to make love to her once. Frustrated, Zeke questions why Nachelle is so obsessed with being in bed with him again. She reminds her boyfriend that it was such a big deal since she had her heart broken during their first time, wanting a second chance since her first time ended in disaster. Zeke feels guilt as she walks away from him. Isidore Russo runs into Isabel Torres at the hotel as she questions if he's responsible for Gianni and Heidi throwing Quinlan under the bus. Isidore assures Isabel that whatever decision made is to protect his family, no matter how harsh that decision is. Isabel goes on to ask Isidore what else he did to protect his family. Before he has the chance to answer, Alan confronts his father, asking him what gives him the right to threaten Terry. Isidore tries playing dumb, but Alan doesn't buy it. Neither does Isabel, who walks off. Before Essador walks away from his son, he warns Alan that people get hurt when going after their family, encouraging his son to remember that. Quinlan arrives at Ben Russo's office, asking her boyfriend when he's ready to talk about the growing scandal. Ben isn't willing to talk, explaining to his girlfriend how he suddenly realized that he'd constantly be reminded that she was his father's mistress. Hurt, Quinlan asks Ben what his thoughts are about the survival of their relationship. Instead of answering, Ben suggests that Quinlan leaves, which she agrees to do. Running into JJ at the mall, Yvette is scolded by him for manipulating Kiev after JJ was told that Kiev and Yvette would hook up. When Yulisa Torres arrives, Yvette tries to tell JJ that she's not the monster he thinks she is. Once she's gone, JJ fills Yulisa in on what just occurred. Owen enters Wanda's office at Confidence Designs, and she tells him that he shouldn't show his face at her company after the way he acted at Theodosius Palace the other day. He tells Wanda that if she's looking for an apology, then she's not going to get it. Owen explains to Wanda how she knows that she consumes his thoughts, but she continues to allow him into her life and express his desires as she acts like they don't matter. Showing her aggravation, Wanda tells Owen not to play mind games with her, telling him that he's the one showing affection and that he's the one who kissed her on Independence Day. Owen reminds Wanda that she didn't resist. She reminds Owen that she walked away and that she resisted ever since, going on about why she'll be spending quality time with Udell at Martha's Vineyard the upcoming weekend. Not only is Owen hurt by the news, Wanda tells Owen that their friendship is over. Since Wanda made that claim, Owen kisses her goodbye, causing Wanda to grow more complicated feelings for him. Alan appears in Terry's office at the hospital, informing her that he confronted his father about his threats towards her. Terry expresses her grievances about Alan's actions, feeling like he only caused her more issues. When Alan asks for clarification, Terry refuses to offer it, asking Alan why he tried coming to her rescue. Once Alan answers that he cares about Terry, she tells him how their affair has gone too far, asking him to leave. Essador appears in his ex-wife, Harley Drake's hotel room, informing her how their son confronted him about Terry. Harley informs Essador how she's puzzled by Alan's views towards the doctor, promising to get to the bottom of it. Quinlan meets with Nichelle at Theodosius's palace, where Nichelle asks her about her affair with Gianni Russo. After Quinlan explains, she asks Nichelle what brought up the question. Nichelle revealed about her suspicion of Zeke cheating on her again with Yvette. Quinlan tries to assure Nichelle that Zeke's issue isn't with another girl. When Nichelle asks Quinlan what Zeke's problem is, Quinlan advises her friend to assure Zeke that she'll stand by his side when he admits to his problem. At the Mitchell estate, Yvette throws the party while her parents are away. Then Zeke approaches her, asking Yvette to speak with Nichelle and convince his girlfriend that he's been faithful. Kiev appears, taking Yvette away into her bedroom, which angers her. While Kiev is in Yvette's bedroom, he begins to demand that she hook up with him. As soon as Yvette refuses, Kiev pushes her onto the bed as he begins to force himself onto her. Thankfully, Zeke comes to Yvette's rescue, pushing Kiev off of her. As Alan is in Terry's apartment, he not only apologizes, but tells Terry that he's not ready to let her go. Terry tells him that he doesn't have a choice, explaining that they shouldn't have fallen for each other as hard as they did. Alan tells Terry that he just heard what she said, asking if she cares about him as much as he cares about her. She tries to tell Alan to leave, but he refuses to until he gets an answer. Reluctantly, Terry admits to growing feelings for him, but states that she can't. Touching her face, Alan reminds Terry how they weren't supposed to sleep together, but they ended up doing so. Alan goes on to kiss Terry. In the hallway after hooking up, Alan kisses Terry goodbye. What the two lovers didn't know was that Harley saw them the entire time, enraged by what she just witnessed. While Pacho is at Vivian's apartment, she suggests that he make peace with Quinlan by allowing Quinlan to share her side of the story about her affair with Gianni. Pacho reminds Vivian that she didn't want to do so when he approached her about it. going on about how her relationship with Ben could become more complicated, wondering if that's what Vivian wanted since Ben still has shares to his family's company. Vivian tells Pacho that she's tired of him making her seem like a wicked witch. Pacho tries to assure Vivian that he doesn't think she is. He goes on to state that if she were to come clean with him, then he would have a clear understanding of what she wants. Vivian states that she wants what belongs to her. Expressing confusion, Pacho asks Vivian how Russo Jewelers belongs to her. She reveals that it's her birthright, which only confuses him more since he believes that Vivian isn't a Russo. Finally, Vivian corrects Pacho, informing her that she is a Russo because she is Lorenzo Russo's daughter. Can't get enough of the crazy world of In Times Like These? Then, treat yourself to a binge watch of In Times Like These. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You're not ready for what's to come, but tune in anyway.